Hello, namaste everyone. Welcome to Friday Talk with Mr. Kandel. It's been already Friday that we are back with Friday Talk with Mr. Kandel. And today in this episode, once again, we'll be talking about three important topics. So the first and foremost would be visa decision timeline, because we know many students are desperately waiting for decisions, and High Commission of Canada has given decision in very irregular pattern, and Mr. Kandel will clarify about this issue. Secondly, we are talking very unique topic today, because recently we have been getting calls from our students who are already in Canada regarding suspension letter. So they are asking us if there is anything that we can do from our end to help them, and Mr. Kandel has something to say about this matter. Thirdly, we'll be talking about how to strengthen your study permit application. What consideration need to take into account in order to boost the possibility of your study permit success. Mr. Kandel, welcome to Friday Talk.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Regmi. And it seems like you are losing some weight. What's the problem?
I'm really sorry, Mr. Kandel. I survived of dengue because I was suffering for last 2 weeks, and now I'm recovered, thankfully. And once again, I will join gym very soon.
Yeah, good.
So that's my thank you very much for taking care of my body. Thank you. What about you? It seemed to me that you have put on your weight.
Actually, I'm very fit.
I'm
on diet as well.
All right.
To maintain my health.
Yes,
I
very
don't
good.
go regularly gym, but that's fine.
And make sure that you clean your surface around your house. It is very important. In Nepal, we ignore outside corridor cleaning, and we need to make sure that we take care of our garden, we take care of our roads, because if dengue actually get infected, it's gonna be very disastrous and life-threatening. Please be careful. This is the season, and we have to be careful about this matter, because personally, my family have experienced this. That's why we would like to extend awareness from this video, Mr. Kandel. So let's come back to the point. We just got carried away. So let's include the first topic, visa decision timeline, as usual.
Yes. So yes. This is really exciting this week. I mean, from a couple of days, we are starting getting decisions. And as you told, some irregular pattern, March, May, and then in between March 15, 17, May 20, 22, something like that. Anyway, visas are coming and the approval rate is really exciting. And we are already getting visa approval for those who applied along with provincial attestation letter PAL. This is amazing, and visa rate is really great. And it seems like that Canadian High Commission is working on our applications, and most of the students who applied for September intake are likely to get the decision on time. As we talked earlier, 70% of the students are going to get their visa decision on time, so that they are continuing their September 24 intake. So this seems correct, and thank you IRCC for your action.
So Mr. Kandel, as you mentioned that we have been receiving outstanding number of visa study permit approval. What about the refusals? If study permit are being refused lately, so what are the precautions, or on the basis of our experience, so what are the prime reasons that visa study permit are refused?
Actually, so far there are no much refusals, I must be honest, but there are some refusals on the basis of that your offer letter is not valid. Maybe you guys applied for May intake, you deferred, you did not notify to IRCC about the deferral letter, or even though if you had submitted your offer letter during your application, there are some technical errors maybe with the IRCC or something like that. That's why they are giving your study permit is not valid. Your offer letter is not valid. Kind of refusal is there. And another refusal, if we see the students' profile, and if they are applying to some general subjects, for example, general business, they are likely to get more visa refusals because it's obvious that now the labor shortage for those subjects are no more there. So they want to see you very much specific and very much unique while choosing the subject you are studying in Canada. So to maximize your visa approval chances, we recommend you to choose some unique programs, some technical programs, some skilled programs, which number one is not available in Nepal, in your home country. And if you are applying to Canada and that has a huge job shortage, those kind of programs are likely to get the higher visa approval rate. And second, the financials would be very strong, as we are telling every time. And then you have to submit educational loan. You need to pay the tuition deposit for 1 year. If you're submitting bank balance, you have to show at least 6 months of transaction history. And for other documentation, SOP, we are telling this very frequently. These are the things you have to consider. And I think our team at Goreto are very much competent while it comes for application for Canada study. So please visit Goreto Consultancy and we will be very happy to guide you throughout your application process and even after when you are in Canada.
Mr. Kandel, some students, they have submitted the valid offer letter. In spite of the fact that they have submitted valid offer letter and they have been receiving decisions saying that your offer letter is not valid. What does that imply?
That's what I told you earlier. This may be the technical issue from the IRCC office because we also verified we have submitted a student's offer letter. But there are a couple of students who received their refusal letter based on this reason. So you have to reapply immediately with justifying your proper application.
And make sure that you apply before your poll expires. It is very important.
Yes.
So if you get this kind of decision. So Mr. Kandel, so let's talk about plus 2 graduates. Plus 2 graduates students right now they are preparing IELTS. PT. Yes, we have been receiving inquiry about this subject matter every day, and they are in dilemma which country they should go for because they had hope for Canada, but in Canada we have a intense rumor that international students are not getting part-time job, and that's why the attraction for Canada is decreasing day by day.
So I don't think it is true.
No. All right.
But first of all.
So I just want to conclude this question. So in this situation, how can we convince for plus 2 graduates, Canada is still attractive destination for higher education. So when it comes to plus 2 graduates, very burning issue or let's say burning concern is that whether they can make up their life in Canada or not as an international student, because they have never worked outside out of the home and they have always dependent on their family. So in this scenario, if they choose to study in Canada after plus 2, so can they survive? This is very a very relevant issue for parents.
So absolutely, this is very great question, Mr. Regmi. In fact, we never encourage any students to go abroad if they find very best programs, best colleges in Nepal itself. And if you think you have huge opportunities in Nepal, please stay in Nepal. Canada or any foreign country is not for everyone. So if you are thinking, okay, you are going to get more exposure, more challenges in your life, and if you are thinking to study in abroad, then Canada absolutely a very fantastic, very amazing and excellent destination. It's not because we are promoting Canada, but you can check the facts. So, and again, if your financial is not very enough, you are not very likely to succeed in Canada. So in Canada, you have to pay 1 year's tuition fee, you have living expenses and other costs related. So if your sponsor, if your family members can bear the cost of those expenses, then only you have to think Canada. Number third, you are going Canada for a long term. I think for me, if you are spending that huge amount of money, you are not just completing your study and coming back immediately. So if you are planning for long term, your major concern should be study. Don't focus on work. Yeah, I understand work is very important to get some experience, Canadian experience, international experience, but your prime focus should be study. So don't think that you are going to work Canada immediately after landing there. So it needs some time for getting jobs as well. There are certain processes of hiring. You have to see the vacancy, you have to apply, you have to be shortlisted, you have to be interviewed, and this is the hiring process. For that, it can take maximum 3 months, 4 months. So you have to accept this. Number 4, you are very new in Canada. You don't know how to apply, where are the job opportunities, how to search. These are the things. Even building your Canadian CV is difficult. So you have to learn all these things, and when you are equipped all these, if you are habituated in Canadian location, your community, then it will be easy for you to search for a job, making your CV, apply. Interview techniques are there, a lot of factors are there. So jobs are there obviously, but it's difficult to get.
One thing we want to clarify you, if you can actually find your place in Nepal, for example, if somebody actually want to hire you because he sees or she sees something special on you, trust us, you will also succeed in Canada. But here in Nepal, it will be very difficult for you to find even a small job, intern job. So then it is unlikely that you will find job immediately, part-time job really soon you land in Canada. So that means you have to be aware about this.
One thing I want to make clear on this part is it's not true that Canada doesn't offer you more jobs. Obviously, they have a lot of full-time jobs, but when you are a student, you are applying for part-time jobs because your schedule is not matching with the needs as per the employer. So if you can see the portals, for example, Windsor, you can see there are, I last time checked, and there are 2,000 jobs. Similarly in British Columbia, there are a lot of jobs. So you have to source properly, apply, and I don't think it is difficult, and I don't think it is very simple as well. This is very technical things, and it depends upon your individual characteristics. Sometimes you are very reserved, you don't network, you are not spoken, right? So you are not heard, and nobody is going to knock your door and ask you for the job. So you have to be research oriented, you have to work very hard, and you have to prepare yourself for the job. And I would like to reiterate that job should not be the very prime factor. But you should not expect job immediately after landing in Canada. But in long term, Canada is definitely a very great place to study and stay if you wish in future. And if you are waiting for your +2 examination result, then you can prepare for your IELTS or PTA test. As soon as your results are published, you can apply for Canada. And again, we never encourage the students to go immediately outside of country. If you see some opportunity, that's fine. Otherwise, Canada is always great.
So thank you very much, Mr. Kandel. So now let's move to next topic. That is about the suspension letter. Yesterday I got a call from parents of a student who is studying in Canada, and in fact in UCW, University of Canada West. And he recently got suspension letter towards completing his MBA. And they were asking me, asking if we could help them somehow. So that was the concern. So this is happening because mostly students are choosing program something they actually cannot study. Yes, in spite of the fact when we do counseling that we tell them not to go for the program if you don't have knowledge about accounting, or let's say if you are not good at mathematics, don't go for software because you are likely to fail in the test. This is very important when when you actually go to Canada. So all of a sudden you have all these burden, all these technicalities, then people feel very pressurized. So here, what does this suspension letter imply in UCW? And is there anything that we can assist them to get rid of this, Mr. Kandel?
Actually, before answering this, you have to be very much well informed what kind of programs you are going to study in Canada, so that it will not be very tough for you to study and pass in the examination. For this particular case, UCW, they expect students to pass in every semester examination with minimum GPA. For 3 GPA they have to score, and before giving suspension letter, they are giving you probation letter. I mean, they are monitoring. If you have difficulties in studying some particular subjects, you have to reach to your academic advisor. There are a lot of resources to improve your study. There will be mentor coaching, there will be peer teaching, something like that. So if you cannot maintain specific grades, then you are put under probation and suspension. That means you are not entitled to go for registration for next semester. So you have to redo. So this is one particular case for UCW, but there are other colleges where students are failed. That time they are not okay to register for next term, but they have to complete the first particular intake. So you have to always focus on your study. That's the problem, because you are focusing more on jobs, you are not focusing on study. That's why you are failed.
You are choosing wrong program.
Institutions, they want you to pass, they want you to attend institutions, right? That's why if you fail, they will give this kind of letters, and this is time taking, money is going more. These are the things you will be facing when you are not prepared enough. So I request you to focus on study. If you have difficulties, reach out to the academic advisor. There are a lot of ways to help you out.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kandel. I think we covered almost all the topic, and at last let's cover the consideration about strengthening study permit application. Yes, so lately we have been receiving a study permit approval as well as some refusal as well. So on the basis of our experience, so what can we advise our students to make their file strong?
We already talked, Mr. Egmi. Number one is program choice. You have to be very much specific, very much wise, critical while choosing your program, why you are paying that huge money to Canadian institutions to study that particular subject. Number two, your SOP should be convincing. Number third, your financial. Number fourth is your English proficiency, IELTS, PT, TOEFL if you have. So these are the things, and the overall
selection of institution as well.
Selection of institutions as well. And overall documentation, how you are presenting your files to IRCC, that should be very clear and understandable, So sometimes some students keep a lot of documents which are really difficult to be verified. So keep limited, small, precise documentation that supports your application. And it is not 1, 2, 3 kind of information I can share right now, but our team is capable enough to give you the right guidance for that.
Yes, that was all for this episode. Thank you very much. We will meet you next time.
So with this visa decision coming up, I think January is the best intake, and even May. Let's apply to Canada, and I don't think you are going to be regretting, right? Canada is always a great destination. And thank you, Mr. Regmi, for being fit and fine.
Thank you very much.
Take care, not only you, please be attentive to your circumstances, surroundings, be healthy,
work out,
mentally, physically, work out, be positive,
carry more responsibility, as much as possible,
follow the rules, and that's what we want in our life. Thank you very much.
That was a lesson, because that will help you to be successful in Canada. Thank you very much. See you next time.